Here is Brock Lesnar completely ruining his entrance on an episode of Raw. He slipped and fell right on his own butt. It was absolutely unexpected, and even Brock and Paul Heyman broke character and had to laugh at the accident. The segment continued, and it wasn't until Raw went off the air that Brock Lesnar was seen arguing that the area was slippery. Brock's return to WWE hasn't been that great because that wasn't the only time he had a mishap. In a segment with R-Truth on SmackDown, his pants ripped. What's even funnier is that this isn't the first time the man's damn pants have ripped. Anyway, he finished the segment, but Brock found it so funny that he couldn't help but laugh and show off his ripped pants. There are a couple of notable mistakes that happened at this year's Survivor Series War Games. The first is when Liv Morgan faked her betrayal of Dominic Mysterio. When she went to slap him, you could see on his face that Liv's hand didn't even touch Dom's face. If you really slow down the footage, you'd realize that she urgently needs to take lessons from Stephanie McMahon. The other mistake is more serious. It was when Bron Breakker landed right on his neck. It looks really scary, and that's a mistake that can end your career or even your life. Fortunately, Bron Breakker recovered and finished the match, defeating Punk. Dragon Lee, he was determined to pull off his move. He had 3 chances, but none of them worked. Here's the genius R-Truth trying to hit John Cena. Well, the following mistake happened during a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt. Nikki Bella flew from the top ropes to land a flying kick on Becky Lynch. The only problem was that the timing was completely off, and Nikki was already in the air before Becky even turned around. She missed completely, and even Wade Barrett himself had to say that it wasn't even close. Becky Lynch's exaggerations usually make the audience laugh a lot, but sometimes that can hurt the believability of the matches a bit. She should probably stop doing these moves in the future, and also stop overacting like she did in War Games.
You can survive War Games.
Tomorrow is a very different day.
Before the video continues, I want to tell you that my video about my visit to Chris Benoit's house is now available, a video that was very hard for me to record in Fayetteville, Georgia. I'll leave it for you at the end of this video, and also in the description so you can go watch it, and also so you can subscribe to my new channel, which is also dedicated to wrestling, but as a secondary channel. This next clip could be WWE's worst mistake in 2025. We had a match this year. It was a triple threat with Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton, and there was a moment when Jade Cargill pulled off a big power move on Jax. That's when Tiffany jumped in to steal the pin, and Nia just forgot to kick out. And if that looked bad, it looked even worse when the referee just stopped at 2, even though there was absolutely no reaction to break the count. It was a bad look for wrestling. Some people blame the referee, others blame Nia Jax, but overall it was a huge miscommunication and everyone there saw it. The same thing happened again during a tag team match on SmackDown when Elton Prince didn't kick out after a move from the top rope. When LA Knight was thrown through the announcer's table, the production team made a mistake by switching the camera angle to a lady with some notes. It's really funny to see how she just runs out of the camera frame. Imagine taking a brutal hit against the announcer's table only for the camera to end up focusing on someone else, and people don't even see the move. Now let's look at another fail involving LA Knight, although this one was actually pretty awkward. While the people attending the shows really enjoy Jey Uso's Jeep, the fans at home are annoyed with this guy. And the dislikes have become noticeable on social media. All of this is because Jey Uso has made not just one, but several mistakes throughout 2025. How could we forget the time he failed his super jump?
The match lasted, right?
Look at Jey Uso.
Then there was the time he slipped during a spear. And also the time he almost ended The Miz's career with this mistake. Then he miscalculated this jump and almost got really hurt. And don't forget about this mistake with CM Punk, where Pong was so angry that he actually kicked Jay in the back of the neck and told him to focus. But this could be Jey Uso's worst mistake, plus he can't even do his move right. Many people think he needs a new quick finisher because he misses his own spear so many times. This could easily be the worst Alabama Slam I've ever seen, Cody Rhodes. He has one of the best entrances in the business. From the royal family catchphrases to the music and the fireworks that everyone shouts along with at the same time, it's absolutely perfect. However, it wasn't perfect. The time production messed up and forgot to set off his fireworks. Cody was completely confused and didn't know what had happened. This year, it definitely took too much effort for the wrestlers to get in sync.
That you see it in
Different. Oh, whoa, what happened?
Here we see Rey Mysterio slipping off a move by accident. In a match on Raw, we saw a mistake by Rhea Ripley when she lifted Charlotte for a tag team move with Nijo Sky. Her body just gave out, and what we definitely saw was Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair slowly falling to the ground. The good thing is she tried again and pulled off the move. Travis Scott spent time with WDF. They will be remembered for being alongside John Cena and The Rock in the Elimination Chamber, as well as for ruining the main event of WrestleMania. And if that wasn't enough, we'll also remember him for failing this move. Travis forgot that wrestling isn't real, and that's why he hit Cody with full force, leaving him with a black eye and a ruptured eardrum. Let's move on to a different celebrity, Jelly Roll, who took part in an important tag team match with Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. You have to give him credit, he was impressive in that debut match. However, there was a funny mistake. Before taking Logan Paul's dive, you could see him staring right at him, waiting to brace for impact. Pat McAfee vs. Gunther was quite entertaining, but there were some mistakes in that match. Look, to be fair, I have to say that Pat McAfee is not a wrestler, so you can't expect him not to make mistakes, but that being said, it's still fun to watch these failures. We're moving on to another production error, and it also happened at SummerSlam during the Tribal Chief's entrance. The pyrotechnics usually go off when he puts his finger in the air, but this time they messed up, and it happened too early, so there were no pyrotechnics when he actually did his gesture. Continuing with Roman Reigns and SummerSlam, there was another error. Roman did his jump over the top rope, and that move probably almost cost him his career because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed didn't catch the OTC. It was a rough landing that could have been much worse, but fortunately he was okay. Those two guys also failed to catch CM Punk at that moment. If I were another wrestler, I wouldn't trust these two enough to jump over them. Not everyone can pull off this move so easily, and that's because it takes agility and speed. Even CM Punk himself hasn't been able to do it.
De manera perfecta.
And well, now Logan Paul is also joining this club. Now I'll be leaving you with the video of my visit to Chris Benoit's house. Don't miss it, go leave a comment and subscribe to my new secondary channel. I'll be waiting for you there.